Yo, what is
Hi,
going
how
on,
are
guys?
you?
Here, my name is xBuzzerman, and today I got for you my top 50 worst Clash of Clans bases of all time. I was able to get this list through the photos you guys sent me on Twitter, so if you want to be involved in my next top 50 worst bases, go ahead and tweet at me a photo of a really bad base you were able to find. I'm going to go ahead and review them. They're not going to be very long. They're going to be probably about 6 seconds a piece. But overall, we're just going to have a good time with this. So this is not meant to be taken seriously, guys. Some of these bases are actually not too bad. And it's just a funny video where we have a little satirical fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this one right here, we can obviously tell this person really wanted to get Town Hall level 10. This is obviously before Town Hall level 7. 7? Tevin and 7 really makes sense, but before Town Hall level 11 because he just wanted to get to the max Town Hall and say he did that. Usually people who do that want a lot of respect in the game, and they think that's the way to get it. Alright, so we have a really good example of a sub 200 farming base right here. If you've ever known this secret farming range, you tend to find those bases in there, or you used to find them. It's not the case anymore, but it was a farmer's heaven, and that is the place we're talking about. For this one's case right here, it's obviously a case of really loving Dark Elixir. I mean, some people have their things, like, you know, I really like gold. Other people really like Elixir. And then some people just are infatuated with Dark Elixir, and that's, I guess, he really liked it. Alright, so this is the first case of an actual good base. I know I said top 50 worst base, but if you look at this base right here, every structure is almost done for. If you look at, you got your five archer towers left, and then you got the town hall and a few other structures. He was able to destroy all the structures but the town hall, so that town hall's going, I'm a boss. For this one right here, we call this 2 words, the old wall hugger. Alright, so I think we've all done this kind of a base before, where we think, let's just put all of our defenses and structures into one area. The walls are made for that, right? That's how they're supposed to be. Well, this guy took it to the extreme, rushed his town hall all the way up to town hall level 8, got all the walls surrounding the village, and did it like a boss. I'm gonna go off to say that's probably one of the best bases of all time. If you look at it, basically they can't spawn anywhere. If they can't spawn in the walls, they can't spawn outside of the walls because there's no area to spawn. So OP right there, gotta give it to you. This guy has a somewhat clue of the game. I mean, he uses the walls, but he doesn't really have anything to defend his walls. I just put this one in here because I like it. I mean, it's like a bug. It might be a spider. I'm not sure if it's a spider, but it might be some sort of bug, and it looks cool. These are my favorite type of bases right here. You have everything in one wall. You have your army camps on the outside, so goodbye you. But if you take a look right there, you just got that one expo. So usually when people rush to Town Hall 10, for some reason they always got to bring an Inferno Tower or an expo with them, and it's like those two are the key to winning the game. I guess it is. Oh yeah, another old no walls. I mean, I guess this isn't Boom Beach, guys. They probably came from Boom Beach, and no, just no. Alright, this guy Alfonso CR7 is just a straight savage. He thought, you know what, let me get Town Hall 10, screw the expo, but I'm going to get my 2 heroes. So heroes also are the key to the game. This one I do not know what to think about. It looks like he tried to get some walls, or use the most amount of walls he could, and he upgraded them. He maxed out. If you look at everything, they're pretty well defense or well versed troops and a good upgradable stock of troops, but overall not too good. I think this is one of those bases that was trying to push at one point, like a defenseless push, so I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to assume that's what he did. That's how we're all feeling right now. Alright, this is the case of the rich kid who decided he wanted to play Clash of Clans. If you look at it right here, he's got some maxed out things along with his terrible walls. He's got that old Town Hall level 10 that we all talk about. He's got some maxed out archer towers and wizard towers. I don't think those are actually maxed out archer towers, but they're close to maxed out. He's got a pretty good army composition right here with some hogs and 2 inferno towers, and he put some money into this game. but he didn't put it in the right places. Now I put this one on here. It's not a terrible base, by no means not a terrible base, but it's just one of those cases of putting everything into one area. This is kind of a learning lesson, guys. These aren't terrible bases. This isn't a terrible base. Just learn to partition things off in your base. Now this, on the other hand, this is a terrible base. And so is this one. My biggest question about this base right here is how can you retain 544,000 gold with not one wall in sight? Just another old case of the old wall hugger. They all work well. This is a guy who hasn't gemmed or decided not to gem and has really made it his goal to put walls around the whole loop of his base. I know I've done this before. This is what you call carnage in the making. It's about to happen. You got a lot of dragons. It's also called overkill. I particularly like this one because it's kind of like a target, like go for me. And he doesn't really, he's got his flags, he's got his max town hall, he's even got the expo, along with a few heroes as well. But really, this one right here is not necessarily a bad base. It's not a bad base at all, but what he's trying to do here, this is often misconceived as a bad base. This is not a bad base, guys. What he's trying to do is, one, he's probably given up the game for a while, and while he's thought about doing so, he's farming for trees on the outside layer of his base. As you can see, around the whole layer of the base, he's got Christmas trees and regular trees. So, not a bad base, just wanted to clear the air about that one. This is another attempt at a grand scale wall or village. This is probably one of the funniest ones I've seen. Somehow this guy, a Supercell moderator, believes this is how you farm. See, this just shows the Supercell logic. What they think is that's Supercell in a nutshell, right there. Except they don't allow that kind of behavior. But
shots fired! Shots fired!
Town hall, like people are just gonna town hall snipe, even though he's got all his defenses over there. That's definitely not the point of leaving your town hall on the outside. Good job, Supercell. Come on, man. A war base. A war base. This guy basically just said to clan wars. I think this might be kind of like an image or something because it looks like everything's like placed in like a direct pattern of some sort. You got like little elixir collectors everywhere. You got some gold storages here, gold storages there. My favorite thing is, from what I see, I'm looking around and I cannot see one defense. There's not one defense on this whole base. It's just collectors and just storages. I mean, hey, he's got a hero. Well, this guy's base was so bad and so inconsistent that he decided to blur his name out. So sorry about that. And if you look at it, I mean, you got some different walls here. He decided he wanted to level up certain walls and not level up some walls at all. I think even I see like a level 10 or level 9 wall in that top corner over there. It just looks like it. And I mean, he's got the 2 expos. Let's look for a, I don't think there's an Inferno Tower anywhere. Nope, no Inferno Tower, but he's got his heroes, so, and then also a maxed out storages, so props by you. Inferno Towers. Now I believe this has to be like free loot or something like that in a different language. One of you knows what language that is. I know you do, and I'd like to hear that. But this guy has what you called gotten the new update. That's what happened to him. He got the new update. I just don't care. Here is the epitome of every base I've been talking about. What I mean is, you got the guy who's 1, wall hugged, 2, used his gem on all of his town hall, and 3, decided to defend it with 1 expo. I mean, that is pretty much probably the worst base, or the one who falls into every category. The only thing is, he's got 2 million of each of his actual storages, along with 20,000 dark elixir, so somehow he's making it work. You know, I'm just going to go off on a limb here, but I believe if you look right there, there's actually probably going to be some traps there, so he's got some traps going for him. Luca. My boy Luca is definitely not that great at base building. My favorite thing about this base right here is the wizard tower. Good job. Good wizard tower. This looks like a maze base, so he doesn't have a terrible concept in the layout of his base. One, I do not know why in the top corner over there, instead of cutting off the walls at like a intersection, he's just going with them. He's got parallel walls going. So that's problem number one. Two, like all these bad walls. And then three, it looks like he's trying to like create a moat with his what do you call that? With his town hall. He's probably gonna have some sort of Tesla or something in there. This base is what I call a blessing and non-existent anymore, thanks to the new update. Supercell. This is, like I said, this is what I call the update base. Well, this one is called the Supercell base. Illogical. My favorite type of base right here, guys. The wall hugger. My favorite thing about this base right here, you got a pretty good, I think it's gonna be right here, you got a pretty good little cannon right there. This is the guy who tried, and this is the guy who failed. This guy right here is taking it one step further. He went and he covered his whole base around, and he also went and sealed in his town hall. So, you know, this might be a terrible base, but at least he has some form of knowledge of town hall building. I mean, he might be able to withstand a raid or two, even though this guy looks like he's pretty loaded with his army and just about to pounce on it. Alright guys, at first this looks like a pretty good base. I mean, he's got some things leveled up, he's got pretty good walls, but if you look on the inside of it, he put every single collector he could possibly put in, all in both sides like this, if I can show it right, and he went ahead and just put, like, I mean, it's like a direct beeline. You could get that loot so easy. So I'm just trying to tell you guys that even if the base looks intimidating with good walls, sometimes it's not a very good base, just for the fact that you can go ahead and you can get all that loot pretty easy. And I believe that's what this guy was able to see. So that's why he submitted it as a worst base. So just a little tip for you guys. Yeah, go ahead and attack these bases. There might be the only type of bases you can get now. I think I've showed this one before. But if not, he's got 2 Inferno Towers. Funny how all these bases right here with the Inferno Towers, they've just given up. These are definitely guys who've given up. They went and put in probably $100 to $200 into the game to, I guess, get to Town Hall 10 real fast, and then they realized that's not the way to get to Town Hall 10, and they quit the game. This is probably one of my favorite actual players. This guy right here, Ken95, I think it is. At least he's admitted that he's rushed. I mean, look at his clan. It says rushed on it. So, props to Ken95. You got a shout out, and you know what? You accepted it. Yeah, I just had to put it in here. I like it. Alright, so this is not one of the worst bases. This actually is a terrible base. I mean, it's a bad town hall, but if you look at it, a Titans League, that guy is absolutely incredible. I've seen this guy before, Pelican Tacos. I think people have actually made videos on him, but it was absolutely awesome to see that even if you guys have a really bad base, a really bad startup, you can still do some great things in this game. So if you've had necessarily a bad start in the game, you can still do pretty good with this. I mean, this guy's a level 20, a town hall level, I think that's probably a 2 or a 3. And he was able to get to higher than probably most anyone could. Now that's probably not the case anymore because not many people have their town halls on the outside, but I'm just trying to say persevere through it, and you should be fine, good to go. Alright guys, I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you could please thumbs it up. As you can see, I think it's right up top. That's where my Twitter is, and that's where you go and you send these bases. I've had a ton of people take advantage of this, and I'm about to actually start like putting them on the screen of all the guys' names that were on here. So shouts to all of you guys. Thank you all for sending me in photos. Follow me on Twitter, like I said, right up here. There's a little watermark, and then you can go down in the description down below. You should be able to get it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Really enjoyed it. Comment down below your opinions on this. That's all. Later.